Hello YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch. Welcome to F1 2019. We're here at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez circuit. Okay. Alright, come on back if you can. But, yeah, anyway, welcome to the Mexican Grand Prix. We're here. It's time for qualifying. 18 minutes on the clock. Let's get to it. Alright, so how about leading the train off of the pit lane is our is many things in that Red Bull. He's coming through the S's now. He'll be the first driver to start a timed lap. This is the race where the Hispanics unite. This in Spain.
Foursquare, are you behind me?
So we're looking for many things, and Hector and Rolo to all represent well.
Oh, Foursquare.
Which I have faith in all three of those drivers to do well. So
I had a pack of cars ahead of me, so
yeah, I think you were behind me.
oh,
Can I rejoin to the qualifying thing?
Yeah.
Qualify or no?
If you have a car entered, so you should be able to. Yes. So do you know how to? Do you know how to?
No, I don't.
All right. So hit square and then find your car and then hit X.
Okay. Oh, take control. There it is. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Cool. Yep. You were saying, Malenko?
I said, who are all the drivers you said? I know Zesty and many things. Who else was it?
Rolo.
Oh, yeah, all of them are going to score points.
Yeah. Representing well.
Well, Zesty's probably going to win or finish second. Many things will probably be like 6th or 5th.
Rolo?
And Rolo,
So here's the thing.
Rolo will probably be like
Rolo hasn't
third,
ran in
maybe
so
back
many
half.
weeks. Rolo is good. But where will he stack up against, you know...
He's still gonna get points.
I'm not denying that, but where he finished, you know, closer to the podium, top 5, you know, 6th through 10th, many things. The only time at a chart, a 1:15.7, that I feel like is just not a good time. But,
it's not bad.
it's not bad. Anyway, TK goes second quickest out of 2 times. Coming through the stadium section, we'll have, is that the Williams or drop? He's going back into the pit lane. We'll have a Mercedes coming around. In the final corner, that will be Ben. Colton goes third quickest before he's beaten by Ben, who goes third quickest. Foursquare making a Red Bull duo at the top of the chart. David goes 4th quickest. How about Pillar sat 6th? Pillar's on the hards.
Oh.
1:17.1 on the hards. Wow. Strategy. Malenko goes second quickest and somebody's going around. That's a Mercedes in the barrier. That's Ben who's gone around off the first chicane. Oh. Ben making a mistake on a cooldown lap. Dan, top of the chart, a 1:15.6. Dan Park. Hasn't won in a season and a half. Trying to get back.
That's our 2-timer.
That's our 2-time champion on a long winless streak. We'll see if he can break that with a already good qualifying effort thus far. We're still waiting on about half the grid to set times. But top of the charts ahead of a few of his competitive peers.
Kevin Harvick did the 3 salute again.
So how about we have Pappy on a timed lap. Caden just started the timed lap after rejoining the session.
Whoever this car is in front of me going to this left, I'm on a time lap.
I just shared the Facebook stream to the Facebook group. Pappy goes 9th quickest.
Terrible.
We'll wait on Caden to come around and set a time. 11 times on the board. So right now it's Dan, Many Things, Malenko, Foursquare, TK at the top 5. David, Octane, Ben, Pappy, Pillars, Colton, the 11 drivers. The set times thus far. Caden, out of 12 drivers coming through the stadium section, where will he end up on the chart? Through the final corner. ERS already used up. He'll go 12th quickest out of 12. About Dan, the third Dan, joining that Williams. Williams right now sat, what are they, 4th in the constructor standings? They're going to get a great boost.
That's my boy.
With Shatford joining them. That Rocket Williams team 12 points behind Mercedes. So if Malenko and Shatford are able to double it up today, that's a huge gap if we see the same results out of Mercedes as we have recently. We'll see if Colton will step it up, knowing that there's some competition from behind. We're right on board with our perfect winning record in EWRL. He's 1 for 1 on race victories. We'll see, well,
he's on hard.
He is on the hards. We'll see if he can outdo Pillars, though.
Me? Hear you? Yeah, I can hear you.
That's a lot of curb.
So on the hard, let's see where he ends up coming through the final corner to the start-finish line. He'll go 8th quickest on the hards, outdoing Ben's time on the mediums. Brian goes 6th quickest.
My lap sucked.
Indeed it did, because it got beat by a lap time on hards.
Wreck.
Well, I'm just backing up what he said.
Yeah.
There was nothing good about my lap at all.
So let's go ahead and see how Foursquare is going to do. That along front straightaway. Foursquare right now sat 4th on the chart. We still have yet to see Rolo and Hector take to time here, so maybe they're waiting to represent in the race from the back of the grid.
Oh, come on, pass me.
There's a racing point around in VS's.
Not around.
Okay, maybe just on the cooldown lap letting drivers by. It's a valid statement. Here comes Foursquare. Let's see how he navigates through the S's almost beautifully through there. Here comes into the stadium section. You see the map lighting up purple there. Somebody said a purple sector. Might just have been Foursquare coming through the stadium section. Looking like a good lap through the final corner now. The start-finish line with Foursquare. Top of the charts! A 1:15.403. And how about Hector? He's out here and he's ready to compete in Vat Alfa Romeo. His teammate set 2nd on the chart. Where will he end up here? And as far as I'm concerned, this will lock in the amount of drivers we'll have in our grid, as Killing for Cash won't be joining us this week. So a 17-car grid, still not our smallest grid this season. We've had 16 cars this season at, I believe, Brazil only, and everywhere else we've had 17 or more. Let's go on board with Hector for a timed lap, shall we?
Ooh, Mexico is not the track for me.
Wow, sucks. I'm just gonna kill it.
to the start finish line. Third quickest with Hector, and you know what? We were watching that entire lap. If you notice, Hector missed one of his apexes, so I'm sure he can make that lap even faster. But how about Alfa Romeo second and third in a Red Bull sandwich as Ben goes top of the charts, a 14.964. It is a Mercedes followed by a Red Bull, an Alfa Romeo double, another Red Bull, a Ferrari, a Williams, a Haas, a McLaren, and a Ferrari, the top 10.
Where the fuck are Ferrari at? 'Cause this ain't us.
See, Rolo and Larry still have yet to come out on the track. We're not expecting Larry to, but both Renaults starting in the rear of the grid might just be the strat. So Ben, Foursquare, Dan, Hector, many things. David moved up to 6th. Malenko down to 7th. Looks like Brian's on a timed lap. It's right on board. And now sat 9th and all over the curbing in the S's. Not the smoothest of runs, but is it improving? Into the stadium section we go. What's going on, Ryan? Glad you could join us. Rooting on Hector. Oh, Brian catching that wall there on the exit onto the front stretch, but he'll go 6th quickest. Let's see who else we can catch. Looks like Caden's on a timed lap. Not happy with his times. That 15th out of 15. Let's see what he can do about it. Through the stadium section we go with Caden. Caden goes 12th out of 15th quickest. And we still have yet to see the Renaults take to the track. Let's see if we can catch a wild Dan on a lap here. Going through the S's. Dan sat 3rd quickest. One of Dan's strongest runs in qualifying. You just see first lap chaos, then got some stuff to do. Right on, Ryan. Looks like Dan's aborted his lap. Let's see if we can catch up with many things. Also looks like he's aborted his lap. Well, TK into the S's we go with TK and the Haas.
Fuck, man. Oh, many things you gotta move.
He moved into the stadium section we go with TK. Everybody giving him way. Into turn 16. And now to the long sweeping right-hander, turn 17 to the start-finish line. 6th quickest for the Haas. See, Dan going on time lap. Ryan says, nice, my boy TK and the Haas, I like it. Alright, well if he can score points, he can get to keep it. It's all... They can score points though. Looking like Caden is finding his home at McLaren. It's just kind of how it's working out. And Toro Rosso, if it wasn't for Dan getting the win in the Toro Rosso last week at Silverstone, that team getting no love. And Pappy. Oh! Somebody stopped in the middle of the S's. That was Octane around. Wow, I hope that did not kill Many Things' lap. Looks like he's still trending right on his other lap. Let's see what he can do here to turn 16. Cautions all over the track, and third quickest for many things, a 15.414. How about 11 1,000ths of a second slower than his teammate?
Nice job. Good lap.
Thanks.
How about Malenko in the Williams? Some new motivation. Actually looks like he's on a cooldown lap, actually. He's gone 6th quickest. And David, 2nd quickest in that Ferrari. A 15.375. Oh, is that Hector blowing by in a timed lap? We got to ride on board with this as Ben improves his pole time, a 1:14.601. We all watched Hector's first timed lap this session, and we all saw him miss that one apex at turn 13 in the stadium section. He knows he can improve that lap that's at 6th on the chart, but is it enough for an entire second as Octane quickly being caught by Hector? He gives way. Hopefully that didn't mess up Hector too much. As time winding down in the session. Here you go. Can he make the apex? He made it that time. Is it enough of an improvement through turn 16? And top of the chart, a 1:14.575, 26 1,000ths of a second quicker than Ben. How about Shatford, 3rd on the chart in that Williams that he's now in full time. And looking like he's going on another lap through turn 13. Shatford looking to improve, coming to the start-finish line. He improves, but keeps it in 3rd. Pillars goes to 4th. So we have Dan in 3rd, Dan in 4th, and Dan in 8th. But Dan on an out lap looks like he won't get to the start-finish.
Dang.
That was fun while it lasted.
Brian goes up to 9th.
I feel you. I thought we'd
Rolo is on a timed lap, I think, or is it over for Rolo? No, he's going on another. See what Rolo can do. He's at 12th right now. It's been a while since we've seen him in the league. He's back in that Renault. Oh, he locks up going into turn 4. This might not be a lap to write home about for Rolo.
Or is. Not was, but
Yeah, he has pace.
Yeah, before he ended up not showing up for a few weeks, he was up there in points. Not battling for the point lead, but he was up there in the top 5.
He was battling for P7.
Yeah, when he started missing races. And to the start-finish line, nothing to write home about. He does not improve. So looks like that is going to do it, because this is on a cooldown lap. Everybody please cross the start-finish line. If you're still out there, which is just this. Yeah, I know you're out of fuel. Just cross the start-finish. Don't go into the pit lane, please.
He could just retire.
He could do that too. Yeah.
Wah, wah.
Alright, so Ryan's made a bold, well, I don't know about bold, but he's made a prediction on his top 5. He said it'll be Pillars over Hector, Many Things Malenko, and David. So, not including Shatford in that top 5, but here's our qualifying rundown.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we'll have Hector.
Wait,
Hector,
where does he have me slated to finish?
4th.
The fuck I ain't?
He expects me to finish ahead of you in 3rd.
The fuck you ain't?
So there's our qualifying results. Hector with yet another pole over Ben, Shatford, Pillars, David, Foursquare, Many Things, Dan, Brian, Malenko barely squeaking in that top 10.
I'd like to point out It's between the first 4. It's within 2/10. There's like 16 gap back to 5th on down.
So, looking like at least a dry start to the Grand Prix. Possibly no rain in the whole forecast. I haven't gotten that.
I don't know how it can be bad at F1's version of Watkins Glen.
It is, isn't it?
I don't think it's that you're bad. It's just that they're just better.
Oh, I'm bad.
Okay, but Watkins Glen, unlike the NASCAR games, you know, anybody can get a top 5.
As long as you know how much you can cut.
Yeah, on the Heat games for sure.
Wait, I can only cut in the S. There's more I can cut.
But we have a 36 lapper on our hands. Before we do that, let's go on the all-important formation lap once we get all set up from the broadcast point of view for everybody. Like in that case, we're all good there. Let's go through our starting lineup.
One guy in there, Red Bull behind me.
You know it.
I can't believe I got out.
In row number 1, we have the Alfa Romeo of Hector starting on the pole position, and alongside of him, the Mercedes of Ben. Row number 2, Shatford came in, won his first ever EWRL F1 start. Can he go 2 for 2 in Williams? That's starting in 3rd. Starting alongside of him in row number 2, P number 4, how about that Ferrari of Pillars? Row number 3 will fall back to the other Ferrari of David, and alongside of him, one of the Red Bulls of Foursquare sat 6th. Row number 4, how about many things in the Red Bull? Slated next to our 2-time series champ in the Alfa Romeo, how about Dan? Row number 5 will have Brian in the McLaren and Malenko in the Williams. Row number 6 will have TK in the Haas and Rolo in Barretto. Row number 7 will have Pappy in the Racing Point and Caden in the McLaren. Row number 8 will have Octane in the Haas, Colton in the Mercedes. Row number 9, rounding up by himself. We didn't expect anything less because he just doesn't take a qualifying time. How about Larry in that Renault? So as the grid comes off of turn number 17, let's get ready to roll here at Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. It's going to be a blast here tonight. 17 drivers roaring down the long French straightaway into a very, very tight chicane. Let's see the opening lap chaos ensue.
Oh, there's a Ferrari.
Pronto, Davide.
Yep, this is the time for the Hispanics tonight. Let's go, Hector. Many things. Rolo, make us proud.
Foursquare, main things. I know y'all are behind me. This ain't the region of the Bulls.
So here we go. It's time to bring the action. We've got 5 red lights, and it is lights out, and away we go. How about Hector getting off to a great start once again as they roar down the front straightaway. We'll see these guys fan out. Who's going to take it aggressive into turn number 1? 3 wide for second. Oh, and a Red Bull. That was Foursquare. That was not many things. And a 3-second time penalty for Brian for corner.
I'm out of the session.
Oh.
Oh, Foursquare was an AI. An AI took out everyone.
Oh
Wow.
my goodness.
Well, I went low and then I went to my home screen.
Come on.
Is everybody
I just
around?
got pushed into Zanelli by Pappy.
Oh
What?
my
I didn't
goodness.
push anybody into anybody. I got a collision with you because you were behind me. I hit you by accident because you were sideways.
Rolo's gone around in the Renault off of turn number 6. Well,
I can't get...
what's going on?
I can't get back in there.
So you're not driving the
Now
car
I'm
at all?
back.
Okay.
No, now, okay, I'm going, it's like it's kicking me out, but I'm staying in the session. No, I'm
Hector
back.
sets the opening lap time. Finally, that Red Bull
3 wide.
gets it sorted out. 3 wide on the front straightaway. Yes, they are. It's Brian, Shatford, and Octane going at it into turn number 1. And it's clean. Oh, contact in the back! There goes some wings! Some winglets! Looks like Dan may be missing a winglet.
I'm sorry, Dan. I had to check out for draft.
I was on the brakes, I just wasn't slowing down fast enough.
And be on low.
Well, well, well. What an opening couple of laps here at Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. Hector out to an 8/10 of a second lead as they'll be coming through the S section. They'll complete this second lap of the Grand Prix, and they'll obviously have the opportunity for DRS on the next DRS
God,
straight,
I hate wing damage. It's so hard
which
to
actually
drive
starts
with
after the start-finish line.
I got BG and many things in front of me.
You got Ben in front of you.
Yeah, but Ben's always in front of me.
Yeah. Be turning up my mic audio real quick. I realized it was a little lower than it is usually. Hopefully that is better. Alright. Anyway, it is once again Hector over Pillars at the top of the chart. Might need to change Sal for Mal. Oh. Ben and Malenko? Oh. How about side by side is Ben and Many Things into turn number 4? And I think we're still clean.
I don't know how.
What a drive from Many Things just to keep it clean. Such an enticing track for his driving style, and I do have to say, at least for the opening 2.5 laps, it has been quite remarkable. Somebody quietly up here. Oh. He was talking about his self-hyper. Quietly up here. How about Brian sat 5th in that McLaren? Very nice. Just, you know, minding his own business. Worked his way into the top 5. Let's see if he can bring it home from there. He catches a little bit of curbing there through turn number, what is that, 15 he caught. Oh, that was turn 14 he caught the curbing in, I believe. Anyway, coming to the start-finish line, I'll have David following behind. David will have DRS. See what happens here.
Ooh.
Foursquare.
So it's not happening for Foursquare. David motors on by, but McLaren. He can, you know, try to reset, try to make it back in, try to improve his position. There's a caution on the front straight. That's Rolo. Did he maybe crash coming to the pit lane? So TK right now sat 10th, trying to work over two-time series champ Dan.
I am much amazed to just get bullied.
Yep.
See Ben and Many Things working their way through the S section. Not really an overtaking opportunity here.
I'm having the weirdest of technical issues right now. The window's open, the wind's blowing, and it's hitting my HDMI cable, so sometimes it's cutting out.
That is quite the weird issue. There is a train starting to form up behind that Red Bull. DRS, oh, this is going to be a throwback quote for a couple people, but how about the DRS slipstream fast on the front stretch? Here comes Ben on Many Things. So Ben clears back onto the podium for the time being, but they are... Whoa, contact! Ben keeps it straight. Not sure what quite happened there. But, we heard David's exclamation.
That was mine.
Oh.
I fucked up.
Back here in this little group back here, and another 3-second time penalty for Brian. My goodness. Well, he was up there in the top 5, and he still sat 6, but with 6 seconds to his name, he'll be back at this moment, back to 11th. Brian's caught Kirby, and he's going around. He's in contact with the Williams. Into the barrier he goes. Somebody else says that's a Haas around. Octane's gone around.
Jesus.
Oh, more drivers trying to work their way through the S section.
On track. Holy fuck.
Blocking.
And there's no VSC?
Are you stupid or something?
That's VSC material right there.
Oh, sweet.
And that 3-second time
Not
penalty for
having a
Rolo
front
for
wing
multiple
dude
warnings.
sucks.
Back up front, Hector has a 1.8-second advantage over Pillars. And back to this amazing battle for third between a, well, guess what? A Mercedes, a Ferrari, and a Red Bull. David trying to keep up with our defending series champ, Ben. Many things just trying to follow suit.
Oh, that's corner.
Oh, and Ben's gone off!
Ben went off and it made me go off.
It made me go off.
Did it?
Yeah, because I was sort of locked to your car. It's a bad habit.
Well.
Look, it ain't season 3, many things.
Well, David and many things, they couldn't get away from each other all last season. And how about this battle for the final podium position? I only teased many things almost... Again?
No, Hector was asking what happened to Ben.
Anyway, we've been joking this week with many things not being able to get a clean podium. We'll see if he's able to do so today.
Don't
Who
say
said
that
this
yet.
wouldn't be clean? Kidding.
Don't say that yet. Bulls have horns for a reason. My Red Bull takes out everybody. Not many things.
I bet Emerson expected it to be me.
I swear to God, that's what it was.
When I saw the Red Bull, I thought it was you, and then I looked again, I was like, that's Foursquare. When the hell is the man going?
I was about to face palm and say many things. And then I went and it says Foursquare.
Yeah, in turn 1, I was like, many things. Come on, man. How many times do we have to tell you we don't want to talk about you every week?
I'm in 6th.
But, it's been fun because ever since he's become a new official, 2 weeks in a row, we've been having to talk to Foursquare.
Since lap 1 with a broken
Not 2 weeks in a row, but his first week we had to talk about Foursquare, and about his third week.
Man became an AI, and just his AI dive bombed the whole field like many things.
You know what?
Well, we have a Dan in 2nd, a Dan in 5th, and a Dan in 6th. And a Red Bull and Ferrari battle intense here for the final step of the podium.
When I saw that Red Bull collide with the field, though, I thought it was going to be much worse than it was.
I thought Hector was going around because that was the first car he made
I thought the
contact with.
leader and the second
Oh, contact!
Finn and Foursquare, and everybody was going to just have to stop for the 3 cars spun.
How do I not have wing damage?
That's what I'm asking myself. Oh, I did take some. Now mine's like an avocado green color.
Yeah, mine's like a lighter green, but it's like it ain't going to do shit.
Yeah. I'm just here to have fun.
You've been putting those damn horns. I can't say that sentence.
I would stop talking right there. So Pillars into the pit lane. It's been about 9 laps. Let's go ahead and take a look at our tire life. 8 laps on those softs. And fitting, guess what? Another set of softs. Nope, those are mediums. Just, you know, the graphics department not really doing as well. How about the other Dan into the pit lane? And the other, all 3 Dans in the pit lane.
Dan again.
It's Dan in the pit lane. There's a caution in sector 2. Oh, there's a collision. Octane and Brian again.
Just hearing that is an oof.
Twice in the Grand Prix in the same corners. They've gone around. So Dan and Dan come out 13th and 14th, but Dan comes out in 7th as well. Hey, here comes Pillars, working his way up on a Haas, a Racing Point, and Ben's damaged Mercedes.
Oh my god, rear end.
Feel that.
Well, Hector has a 17-second advantage over David in many things. Goes into 6th. As Ben heading into the pit lane. Followed by a Haas of TK.
Oh, it's sunny now.
It's dark one patch though.
Yeah. Stay back there.
Sky bomb. No, not
Oh,
really.
no, you're not. I ain't.
At least the racing quality's fun.
I get allowed 1 sensitive per lap. I used it.
Pappy and Pillars going at it. Pillars makes easy work at a Racing Point, but
Is it 1 a lap or 1 a race?
not without a little bit of going off track. Malenko set 6th.
The tires are dead.
Feel that so much.
Okay, Lewis. Stay out.
I do not.
If I stay out another lap, I may pop my tires.
Here comes David into the pit lane. Many things takes 2nd.
When they're telling me to take these to 12 me, they'll pop on 10.
Malenko into the pit lane.
I'm gonna baby my tires.
Keep going.
got it.
You're doing great.
For the time being, how about Larry sat 9th? As Dan in that Williams goes a 1:17.593 for the fastest lap of the Grand Prix.
What we need is put two Dans at the same team.
Which ones?
Yes.
And a 3-second time penalty for Rolo again. Oof. It has not been a pleasant return for Rolo. Hector into the pit lane. Literally has the advantage of the pit lane. 22 seconds heading into his pit stall. Mediums on the Alfa Romeo. Down and away. And many things into the pit lane as well. Now Hector will be trying to get the speed as Pillars is up to speed. It's still a large gap, but 5 seconds at closing. Pappy's still out there on 11-lap-old softs. Colton on 11-lap-old mediums. Colton on the alternate strategy. We'll see what he ends up doing. Caden up to 5th. David on fresh softs to 6th. Dan in that Williams. Shatford goes up to 7th on 3-lap-old mediums. But anything comes out on hards going to the end.
Gonna take a lot of effort to take these to the end.
Ben sat 9th, Larry 10th, Malenko 11th, Rolo 12th, Dan 13th. And the battle for 14th goes on with Foursquare's AI and Octane.
Come on, Octane, if you can't beat an AI,
I
then
didn't change my wing when I went to pit, so I had to pit again.
Yeah, you guys said it. You gotta change it from auto to yes.
Yeah.
So 4.5 seconds the advantage up front, but Hector on 3-lap pressure mediums. A 3-second time penalty for Octane for multiple warnings. And Pappy speeding into the pit lane. Had a great run going. Not all lost here, but he'll actually have to come in and serve that penalty. or have it added onto his race time. So yeah, I guess it would be. For him to be racing, oh, P12 on a straightaway. How about Rollo trying to get that slipstream off the racing point? Where does he go? To the inside. Oh, how about this? Try not to lock him up. I think he set him off the track. Whoa.
Okay.
Go.
Okay.
How about Colton on the podium? He's just giving it up to David there. But with Pappy pitting there, Colton up in third. I know he's on an alternate strategy, but just neat to see that. Knowing that Williams just beefed up their points attacking methods. See if Colton can as well.
Oh, we just got a second driver, that was all.
Larry and Malika going at it. Malika makes easy work of Larry with 10 lap older mediums.
Yeah, I'm on the hard. I ain't got my front wheel fixed.
Many things passed by
about to be 12.
Ben's Mercedes.
There's a lot of people in front of me on
Yellow in sector 3. I think the racing point was off the pace. Maybe he was trying to pit and
I
missed
thought
it.
he was trying to pit.
Might have been going too fast and just took evasive action to move.
Ah, something lagged.
Here comes Ben catching the McLaren of Caden. Ben trying to outdo the McLaren, and he does so. Up to P6 for Ben. So now Ben able to put that McLaren in between himself and many things in that position battle.
Not what I wanted to hear.
And many things goes right on by Caden.
Let me buy it.
But Rollo and Malika. Malika on 7 lap fresher tires than Rollo is on, but they're both on mediums. Malika with the slipstream into DRS down the front stretch. Rollo looks like he's either defending or giving away. No, it's defending. He locks up the tires into turn 1, catches some grass.
Man, just trying too hard. I wasn't even trying to pass him.
Man, he's trying too hard. I wasn't even trying to pass him.
But yeah, I let him by on the out of the S's, and now he's defending his spot.
Oh, it's Putty again.
Looks like we gone from 4 square. He's just apologizing for that opening lap incident. Guess the brakes didn't respond the way he felt they would have.
Oh, I thought the AI just did that. I was like, AI making many things proud.
David going to third on chat third on the softs.
I was trying to get out of your way.
And Rollo really loves locking up his tires.
And Ben on Colton, the teammates. Colton lend him by. 20 laps remaining in the Mexican Grand Prix. Sector comes out through turn number 17 to the start finish line. 20 laps to go in Mexico. Hector an 8-second advantage. Back to the Ferrari of pillars. And then a pit stops advantage. Back to Droftus. 22 seconds off the race lead for Shatford. Comes Colton into the pit lane on those 15 lap old mediums. This is mediums to hards. And a 3-second time penalty for Brian for multiple warnings. He is racing.
Romo is just trying too hard. Man defends. I'm just sat behind him. I haven't tried to pass him once. Yeah, and he just defends.
Larry into the
I'm just
pit
letting
lane
him
from
carry
mediums
me
to
to other
hards.
people. Rolo's right now my carry.
TK goes by Larry for P15. And a 3-second time penalty for Shatford for multiple warnings.
Yep, I told him to do the same part of the track without warning.
Wow. One of our heavyweights making some mistakes here. At the moment, that gives David the theoretical podium.
You saw us to box again, though.
Right. That's why I said theoretical. David on the Williams. Can he complete the overtake around the outside? Down the short chute to turn number 4. David back onto the podium, but Shatford is not done yet. Trying to get the crossover on the Ferrari. As he tries to set him up into turn 5, or I'm sorry, turn 6 there. To the S's we go. And a 5-second time penalty for TK for speeding into the pit lane.
Yeah, fuck sakes, by 3 miles an hour.
Wow, ever since he turned off pit assist, the pit penalties have gone straight up. Here comes Shatford with a run on the Ferrari. Up to P3 once again with the Williams.
Uh-oh.
And a 3-second time penalty for David, so it all evens out.
Hooray, now we're actually fighting.
This makes you think, why didn't David just kind of ride behind the Williams and not get a penalty?
I misjudged his braking into turn 1.
Thus far, we have Hector over Pillars and Shatford, the top 3, the podium there. David sat 4th, Ben 5th, Many Things 6th, Rolo 7th. Hispanics unite, everybody in the points. 1st, 6th, and 7th in that regard. Malenko sat 8th. Dan in 9th. Pappy sat 10th. Wow, a 3-second time penalty for Malenko as soon as I just mentioned his name, I guess.
I cut a corner because I was looking down at the map. I was even looking at the corner.
Ryan comments, Pillars must hate winning and loves 2nd place.
Right.
That's true, though. I mean, Pillars must have the most 2nd place finishes. And Brian, a 5-second time penalty for speeding into the pit lane.
Oh God.
And David's out of the session! And that's... And Brian's out of the session! And that's gonna be a VSC! And Octane's out of the session!
There's a Haas stopped in the middle of the track.
Happened? Oh, and Rollo spun!
What is going on?
There was a Haas stopped in the middle of the track in the S's.
That's qualifying right there.
I was paused, so that's my AI.
Same thing happened in qualifying.
Well, so much for that.
Well,
Ooh, that was a lot of oof that just happened there. Big damn.
just retirements all over the grid. We go from as quickly as we had 17 drivers to 14 drivers. The VSC has been retracted. We're back to racing. Rollo
I know
went
how my nigga Rollo just spun under safety car.
I am in 7th.
What just happened? And it was just the VSC. Wow.
I was just following through the S's and he just spun.
3 retirements in the span of 5 seconds.
He hit the curb on the S and spun out.
That's crazy.
Here comes Hector catching up to the
Cool,
the
I
red
come
boy
out.
that he's going to lap. Oh. A couple more retirements and Foursquare's AI might get him some points.
Give me a second. I'm in the S's.
Ooh. That's a 0 AI, right?
That's 85.
Oh, I was like, it's
I'd
a
come out
0
in
AI.
11th. Yep.
So see how this is now. This is definitely a moment to watch, because if you were here back in the first season, we did run AI to fill the grid, and the drivers' interactions with those AI were not pleasant. Let's see here how our race leader deals with trying to lap Foursquare's AI. You can't take it too aggressively in case the AI... Well, we just went around the outside. Never mind. But also the AI was getting blue flagged, so I guess we'll take that with the grain of salt that is.
I can say one thing though. Malenka's got me in her pit stop. He's right in front of me.
I do. That's why I was trying to get Rollo to just take me places.
The guy in 6 has making her pit stop, and I don't.
And Larry has passed Foursquare's AI. Oh, Foursquare's AI in the pit lane, never mind. Fitted a set of mediums.
So Dan, you do have to think about though, I am pulling away from you, I think, on mediums, and then I'll be on softs while you're on old hards. So, I may be able to re-get you, maybe.
So, Hector over pillars, Ben, many things, and Shatford the top 5. Shafter was able to pit under that VSC, kind of fit a fresh set of mediums. He's going to go to the end, I would assume. Malinkos at 6th, you just heard him talking. And so he saw us pit, and he'll be switching on to the softs, as he's already said. I was reading a message from Brian there. He's gotten so many penalties, and then he sped into the pit lane. So he retired via the menu, but he did that at the same time that Octane and David retired. So it just looked like a mass cluster of retirements at once.
Oh yeah, it looked like 4 cars, just fucking 3 DNFs and 1 spun in the S's. There were just casualties all over the place in the S's. Shit looked like a war zone.
So I believe the closest battle on track is actually for the final point. Nope, there's a closer one. There's many things about to get passed by the Williams of Shatford. See how this goes. Shatford up the right side.
He hasn't had to deal with my defending before.
He hasn't had to deal with my defending yet.
And then he just goes
you
fast.
instantly.
Yeah.
Oh, contact!
No.
Looks
Only the many things way.
Yeah, that's...
if his defense was to let the driver pass and nearly spin them out, well, mission failed.
That's some grade A. That's some grade A beef.
Oh gosh. There goes the podium.
Just dive bomb him, lol.
I could pull a Ricardo.
Drivers in front of you might still pit. Well, but they have actually quite the
No.
advantage. Oh.
Yeah, Ben has to pit still. He's the only person who might drop positions.
Well, Hector sat 13 lap mediums, Pillar's 16 lap mediums, Ben 14 lap mediums. Did he go to the end on those mediums? Doesn't look likely, as we still have over 10 laps to go. We have, what, 12 to go at this moment. And so that's asking to go 25, 28, and 27 laps on mediums. So I assume the top three still have to pit. Now, it doesn't affect too much amongst the top three, especially because Pillars has an entire pit stop over over Ben. There's still some stops to hand out there. So it's not, well, in the sense for a victory, it's not quite over for Shatford, but a podium is still up for grabs. Into the pit lane goes Pappy. Rolo, after the amount of warnings and penalties he's gotten, sat 8th at the moment. Colton trying to catch him, but
He just passed me.
I was gonna say Rolo's on faster and fresher tires. We'll see how this goes. But again, it is nice to see Colton sat in the points. See if we can keep it up with 11 laps remaining. It should be coming around to 10 this time by the start finish for the Alfa Romeo leading. Ben into the pit lane. Malenko goes by, but Ben should not have any trouble trying to chase down and overtake the Williams in front of him.
I'm pitting this time.
See, now if I pit, I'd come out 10th. Yeah, it could be 6 maybe, but Rolo is catching me and Malenko will be catching me too.
Oh, well, we will be... Hector and Pillars go around another time. Moving Shatford to the podium. Many things to 4th, Malenko to 5th. Malenko said he's pitting this time as Ben is piling on the pressure anyway. Into the S as we go. Malenko just trying not to be an obstacle. And he'll pull off and let Ben right on by here. So Ben back in the P number 5. And Ben's got 7 seconds to try to make up in 9 laps. Or 8.5 or 9.5 laps. It's like Hector is. Here comes Malenko into the pit lane. He did say this. Dan goes on by, but looks like Dan will be pitting for softs soon. Or maybe trying to go to the end. It is going to take some work if he's going to the end on those hards. Rolo up to 7th as a result. And Colton up to 8th.
Is that Hector coming down the front stretch?
It is.
Yes. As Pillars into the pit lane. And Shatford's too far back for this to have an impact. And looks like the top two kind of made their bed. Hector can pit whenever he likes. He has 33 seconds over Pillars at this moment. As Ben with the fastest lap, a 117.377 on those soft tires in that Mercedes. 9 laps remaining here at Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. And Hector into the pit lane from the race lead. 34 seconds the advantage as he entered the pit lane. Not even a question. As Pillar's still working his way through the stadium section. Hector is out of the pit lane. And Pillars is just now getting to the start-finish line as Hector's basically in turn 1. Ben on many things on severely old hards. So Ben's super fresh softs. Ben will definitely have an easy go at many things on the front straight. A 3-second time penalty for Colton for multiple warnings. Ben goes on by for 4th. And he things with a peek to the inside, but that wouldn't have been smart anyway. Not really any chance to do anything there with 14 laps the difference in age of tires and 2 compounds of a difference in tires. Renault off track. That was Larry actually giving way to Pillars at second. TK and Foursquare. Went out as Shatford goes by Foursquare's AI.
These tires are fast.
And a 116.939 for the Ferrari of Pillars. We'll see if Hector steps up. Yellow on sector
Rolo's
2. That's
it.
a Renault around. That is Rolo. Re-enters the track safely. That is a very least he could have done there. Back to the 10th position.
Rolo's been struggling like motherfucker. Man spun under safety car, spun again in the end.
Yeah, this has not been the return Rolo wished for. He got his Renault back. But, he blatantly cut that corner, but I think he kind of understands. He's just heading back to the pit lane. Oh yeah, he had wing damage. Never mind. But yeah, into the pit lane he goes.
E-I-E-I-E-I-O.
And Hector with the fastest lap, 116.832. 12 seconds over Pillars. With 6 laps remaining in the Grand Prix. Absolutely not a close battle on any part of the circuit. Except Larry passing his teammate who's coming off the pit lane. It will be interesting to see can Rolo score some... Well, no, he's got 20 seconds to... But, could Rolo get back to 11th? That seems doable with fresh, soft tires. Point paying position, a little different.
Williams take the inside here when we come around to the straight end.
And a 3-second time penalty for Pappy. Looks like TK letting the Williams by here. And Rolo on TK here. And Hector an even faster lap by 1/1000th of a second. It's faster, 1:16.831 on the soft tires. Rolo at the inside on TK, a little bit of contact, but Rolo backs out knowing that he was in the wrong in that contact. And he'll regroup and maybe try to get here on the front stretch. So we watch this. This is really the only battle we have on track. Can Rolo get back to the 11th position? As it would be a hell of a job if he can get back to 10th, but I don't see that happening without anybody else having bad luck. But Rolo on his team, and in contact with the two new Renos! Wow.
Oof.
It's coming to turn 3. Rolo just, I mean, had better grip than Larry, and I guess caught him at the, very quickly, caught the gearbox, and around they both went. It wasn't a good day for Renault. They weren't going to score points at their rate, either of the drivers, but now they're just solidifying that. Well.
I would have had that shitty pit stop, I'd probably be up higher than 11.
Hector has a 14.3 second advantage over Pillars. Continues to grow. Hector with 1 lap fresher soft tires than Pillars does. And the Hispanics unite. Hector doing a fine job in that regard. Right now with a 14.5 second lead. Many things as well. Sat 5th. But it has not been a day for Rolo. Back into the pit lane.
I might have a problem before this race is over.
Huh?
My lap is at like 65%.
Ooh. I thought that pit for hards that you did was a little early. That's why I didn't go to... Because I was supposed to go to those softs to hards, but I was like, it's too early.
What happened?
Oh, wow. Bubba Wallace passed out twice post-race on camera. Was taken to the infield medical center. No updates from that. Let's take a look here. If ever back in the points, you heard Dan might not be able to make it to the end of the 24 lapable hards. Many things though sat 5th on 22 lapable hards. Definitely should not have an issue as long as he's not pushed those tires to their limit. How about Colton? Sat in the 8th position. He will not have to pit. And looking like a nice solid double points day for Mercedes at this moment. Caden trying to hold that torch high. Finally score him some points. We've been waiting for him to get some points right now. Sat 9th. It's not over. But looking very likely in this 9th position for McLaren. I can get himself a full-time seat with that. And Pappy in Racing Point just trying to claw every point he can get. Sat in the 10th position. Not a bad job at all. Malenko sat 7th. Quickly catching the limping Alfa Romeo in front of him. Dan trying to preserve that tire to make it to the end. Malenko is coming on fresh, well, somewhat fresh softs. They're not fresh anymore. But nonetheless, there's still some life in those softs for him to attack. A lap and a half remaining here at Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. 2 laps to go in terms of this battle for the 6th position. And Bubba Wallace has been treated and Roll with the fastest lap, and there's contact. Haas has gone around in turn number 4.
That was so dumb.
Was there contact? And the battle for 6th rages on.
No, there is no contact. I'm just driving like an idiot.
Dan able to fend off Malenko for the time being. As Hector begins the final lap. How about only 7 cars on the lead lap? And that's if Dan can keep it on the lead lap with those old tires. Trying his heart out to fend off Malenko. My goodness, this battle is going to go down to the wire into the S's double wide. Malik around the right side, trying not to make contact with one another. Great respect for one another, these two. Malik with the inside in this S. Now Dan back with the preferred line, side by siding into the stadium section. They're still going to have another lap at this. Side by side, turn number 12. Oh, and around goes Malenko.
Was that on me or you? What happened?
You came down on me. But it's no big deal.
As Hector goes by and laps Malenko to end that battle. Here comes Hector.
That was fun as fuck right now.
Winning here at Mexico. Hispanics stand together. Represent. That is his 6th win on the season.
This car around. The last one that we left.
Here comes Pillars in 2nd. A nice, solid, and again, quiet run for Pillars. How about Shatford in his 2nd start? How about 2 for 2 on podiums? Not another victory. We'll go 1 for 2 in that case. Still 50% of his starts end up in wins, but Shatford comes home in P number 3. How about through turn number 16? We'll have the Mercedes of Ben come home 4th. And wasn't the podium he wished for, but a very, very solid points day for the Red Bull of many things, especially with his teammate not scoring points. Many things will come through turn 17 and finish P5, destroying the car across the line. Red Bull will not be too happy with that. And Dan, after taking out his competition, no, he'll cross the line in 6th position, trying to nurse that wounded tire to the start-finish line. It'll be a P6 for Dan.
Good race, Dan. Good race.
Oh, good. Dude, that was nasty to the S's. I was just doing everything I could to hold on to the car.
Well, let's
take
a look
from turn 1 all the way to the stadium.
Oh. And the only reason we made contact there was because when I went to turn, it just kicked sideways, and I was just trying to catch it.
So, yep, that is Pillars.
I do apologize.
I'm sorry, Hector's 6th win on the season. For Pillars, what 2nd place finish? That is Pillars' 6th 2nd place finish on the season.
Dominated.
My goodness. And then Shatford coming in, getting himself podiums to start off his first 2 EWRL F1 starts. There's a look at your classification. That right there, that is everybody who's classified, because the 3 drivers, 15, 16, and 17, they've DNF'd. Have to go figure out what laps they ended up on. Yeah, that's your classification. Let's take a look at the race director, the incidents. My goodness, the warnings.
See, I had a collision, and he hit me.
Grandísimo, Hector, hiciste un buen trabajo. Good job,
Gracias.
Hector.
I had
do
2
it for
warnings.
my Spanish crowd. Ya llegamos, putos!
No, the crowd's half the fam.
Woo! No. Unite!
You got a warning for the collision with me.
Alright. Drop this.
I will take
Dan,
a P6.
You got me?
Yes, I'm here.
Alright. Well, let's go. 3rd place in this race. Walk us through kind of how it went for you. It was a wild Grand Prix, to say the least.
Yeah, turn 1 was mental. But it was good fun. It was good fun trying to catch back up and trying to change the strategy a little bit, but I enjoyed it.
Right, so coming into this, obviously you were riding the high horse of winning your first ever start. You even said yourself that you didn't think you were going to end up winning here just because, you know, if it wasn't raining and it's not being Silverstone. Well, why did you say that? And you still had a podium. Did you expect that, or were you just kind of like, if it's dry, it could be anything?
Yeah, it's anyone's race, isn't it? You've got to be on the grid. You're not going to win, but it was good. I'm not confident around any track without my own setups, to be honest. So doing this is a good learning curve for me.
How do you think I felt?
Alright, so you did have the glory of going back-to-back podiums in your first 2 starts. Do you think you can hold that for the rest of the season? Seems a little more manageable.
I don't know, if you think Mexico turn 1's bad, wait for Monza turn 1.
I forgot. Yeah, we're going from long straights, high-speed straights to very tight corners to high-speed straights and very tight corners next week. Yeah, next week is Monza. So considering that they are very similar, could you take anything from this race and kind of apply it to next week's race? You know, say if it is dry, or even if it's not, is there anything you could take from this week heading into Monza?
Try not to get damage on turn 1, I suppose.
Well, fair enough.
If we can get away cleanly, then it would have been nice to try and give the guys in front a better battle, so they didn't have such a boring race. But well done to both of the guys in first and second. Solid drives.
Right. Well, to say not to say your drive wasn't. It was an amazing drive, but yeah, a solid drive for you as well. Back-to-back podiums for your first 2 starts. So congratulations on your 3rd place finish.
Thank you.
All right, the other Dan on the podium, Pillars. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you there, mate.
All right. But did you hear what I said there at the end of the Grand Prix? Your 6th second place finish this season.
The thing is, they're only getting these 2nd place finishes are getting lonelier and lonelier.
Of your 2nd place finishes, 3 of them were behind Hector. Or what? This is your 4th one behind Hector. What?
Fantastic.
What is it gonna take for you to, well, close that 20-second gap and then beat Hector?
A flying Red Bull into the side of his car. I mean, if he wanted to actually commit to turn 1,
we can arrange
more,
payment.
It could have happened, but it didn't.
You can arrange payment.
But no.
Don't worry, it goes to the highest
today
bidder.
Mexico isn't great for me anyway, so I was kind of hoping for top 4, podium was best. Got lucky and just kind of took it really. Just took the chance when it came. Just made sure when I was going through the S's I don't drop the back end and take an easy P2 and we move on to Monza.
Right. Considering I guess it was really your only incident you were really somewhat involved with. I don't even think you were. You were just kind of there. What was your reaction going into turn 1 before you actually made it to the corner, and then when you saw a flying Red Bull into the side of Hector?
Well, I got probably one of the best starts I think I've ever had. Managed to obviously stay in Ben's slipstream, go to the inside, and I think getting past him was key to not be caught up in that.
I think you were 3 wide into turn 1.
I think we were, so obviously I went in a little bit tighter. I then can't get on the power quick enough. I think Ben got on the power better than me, and then I had no idea what happened. All I saw was blue and red Red Bull going towards me, and then a thick, very thick Alfa Romeo right in front of me.
Alright.
Oh,
sorry.
And yeah, I just went on from there really. I don't know what happened there. So,
Alright, well I asked the same thing to Shatford, but is there anything you can take from this Grand Prix heading into next week, Monza, considering they're very similar tracks in terms of layout?
Watch out for turn 1.
Fair enough.
No, you know what? I think it's exactly the same mindset. Long straights, fast. Lesmo's, Ascari's pretty much like the S's at Mexico anyway, so it's exactly the same mindset, exactly the same what I did this week. Maybe a little different on the strategy way, just to see if I can undercut Hector, but go again next week and hopefully go one better.
Yeah, it's gonna take a lot of work, but you have 2 wins on the season, so it's not impossible for you. Congratulations on your second place finish. Yeah, like you said, a lonely drive, but
you suck.
At the same time,
Thanks.
I think a lonely drive kind of, eases your race for you to kind of secure a good finish.
Stole my name.
It can do, but then the mistakes come in because then you just don't push. So I had the back end slip a little bit when I wasn't when it all got a little bit too lonely. The back end started to go a little bit, so I kind of had to refocus. But a lonely second's a lonely second. It's just a shame that Dan in the Alpha can't make it to the damn podium. But
all right, well,
maybe next week.
Congratulations on your second place finish, and good luck to you next week in Monza.
Cheers, thank you.
All right, and we're joined. All right, what is this? Your 6th win on the season, Hector. How does it feel?
It felt good to get this weird monkey off my shoulder. Had a weird run of races during the first half. A lot of mistakes, a lot of stupid drops and points. Somehow, of course, still in the lead, which is nice. But yeah, just looking to rectify my mistakes and just keep on building and hopefully not falter.
Right, so I think in the chat we were kind of joking this whole weekend in Mexico, this is where the Hispanics have to represent. But you came out and absolutely dominated, I think, from wire to wire. Well, what do you think that just kind of like says? How does that kind of just make you feel? I mean, granted, it's just a virtual Mexican GP, but to you, does that just kind of add like a little more like spice to your win?
Yeah, it adds a little bit considering like last week I had a not so nice race, and it was a 1-2 for the Brits. Sadly, it couldn't be a 1-2 for America, but it's something. Hopefully, all the primos in the fake grandstands appreciated it. So,
all right. So
I didn't appreciate it. You suck.
Going into turn 1. You hear about the flying Red Bull, and it didn't hit you, and what's just going through your mind just seeing that, hearing that, feeling that?
Honestly, I was just like, okay, this is just the normal turn 1, but just like as long as I don't break a front wing, I know I have the pace to get back up. But I felt like a really heavy tap, so I was like, what the fuck? And then I was like, okay, you know what, whatever, it's just about keeping it under control. There's 35 more laps to go, and that's it.
You didn't shout like many things and then realize it wasn't him, or?
No, I was just like, okay, this is just the norm now. So, yeah.
How was it working your way through lap traffic? So I guess that was the only other interaction today.
Basically, it was a little weird. Some lap cars just get out of the way, like in the normal positions, and then I had the second Mercedes. I caught him into turn 1, and it was just the weirdest way to get through. I was going for fastest lap, so I was up on my time, and I have a Mercedes just like being a mobile chicane literally, so that was a little frustrating. But besides that, no real hiccups.
Right on, right. Here today with the mobile chicane.
Surprisingly not.
All right, well, I asked the same question to your other podium peers, but considering they're similar tracks, what can you take from this Grand Prix heading into next week?
Not sure.
Say it. Do not say the trophy either.
The trophy.
That's perfect. I think that's I think that's a zinger right there. Congratulations on your 6th win of the season. I'm sorry your lap got taken from you there at the end. But
yeah, about that. He wasn't even in top 10. So who still gets fastest lap? Does nobody get it now?
Nobody gets it. It's the second occurrence this season.
Happening off.
Okay, so Rolo, if you're hearing this, your mom's a hoe.
Ooh. Ooh. Do shit in your cornflakes this morning.
You see,
well, to be fair, he was like 6/10 quicker than your lap. So I mean, if you upped your game a little bit and stopped putting in those rookie numbers, you might.
Ooh.
You can't talk, young man.
Young man.
Hey, I was a tenth off your fastest lap, man. Give me that shit.
Okay.
That's what I got on you today, to be fair. I was a tenth off your
I don't
fastest
know
lap, so
if
I don't know why I'm chatting shit.
If you realized in that run, you set the fastest lap twice. It was a 1:16.832, and then you set a 1:16.831. Did you know you only improved by 1,000 for?
Yeah, I mean, it was whatever. I was like, I wasn't going for something out of the ordinary. I was trying to keep it on track, of course, and not like do anything stupid. But you know, a lap on the soft tire with like 4 or 5 laps to go compared to my tires wasn't just wasn't gonna happen. I wasn't gonna find like 6/10. Just wasn't gonna happen.
Oh, those softs killed out today hard.
Honestly, what my strategy was supposed to be soft medium, but like everybody else was pitting and I had a fucking thick gap, so.
Right. I was just saying, what
mate, alright, chill your shit. Oh, I've got a big gap. Look at me. I'm really good. I've got a big dick.
I didn't say that.
I'm just glad my tires made it to the end.
It'd be like that.
Sake, dude.
You made it a little easy on yourself.
82%. Did you watch this video, bro? You
I
can see
haven't watched
it. The car.
I haven't watched it yet. No.
Counter-steering and trying to hold on to it.
We'll watch it tomorrow. No, I'm kidding.
Like literally, we were side by side through the entire lap until we entered the castle section.
Castle section.
Or entered the stadium section.
Stadium section. Like what? We're not at Baku.
Like as soon as we entered the stadiums, when we finally made contact with each other.
Right. Well, I was gonna say, so those fastest laps back to back, Hector, is that kind of just an attribute to your consistency, or what do you think?
He wanted that bonus point that he got stolen from him.
Yeah, that's all I wanted. Because I just want to secure the most points I can, considering the constructors' situation. It's super close, so.
Is 25 not enough for you?
Huh?
Is 25 not enough for you?
Are the races I've been not enough for you?
Mate, you did one, and I took advantage of one. The second one, I could have chucked one up the inside, but you made me do the Sebastian Vettel at Canada. Not my fault. Every time you have to leave it a space, and there's no space there.
All right. Well, on that note, I think we're.
I'm not hurt about it, so it's fine.
Congratulations on your 6th win on the season, Hector. Good luck to you next week at Monza.
Thank you.
I think that's going to do it here from Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. Hector, many things represented today. Very proud of them.
Ya llegamos, putos.
Ya llegamos.
Ya llegamos.
Well,
I didn't do shit, but I lived for it. Anyway, I think it was that was a great one, gentlemen. Yeah, it was a good race. Clean race for the most part. We'll have a couple things to look at stewards wise tomorrow, but nothing on the chart of last week's event. So on that note, that's a positive. Heading into Monza, hopefully it's about equally as clean. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Until next time, y'all stay safe. And it's starting to heat up out there in the northern hemisphere, so y'all stay cool.
Stay hydrated.
Yeah, stay hydrated in the northern hemisphere. Y'all down there, y'all about to get your winter down there? Y'all stay warm.
Wait, is next week the one where my own teammate crashed into the safety car?
Yup.
Yeah.
Looks like we're not closing the constructors.
Yeah, where I did the most legendary commentary of all time.
Yeah,
he just hit the safety car. What a fucking scrub.
Malenko was in the. So I had Malenko commentate a couple races that I couldn't make last season, and then he decided to join me in the booth for that one, and that was the best. We can't forget about
leading the race.
We can't forget about Ben goes wide. We said that perfectly in sync.
I need more of that for next week events.
Wow.
We need another moment like this.
What a scrub!
David.
What a scrub! I just had to let him know. I just had to let him know.
David, if you're hearing this, the pressure's on. We need another moment. You gotta top it.
In front of your home fans as well, you fucking scrub.
Yes.
We were running multiplayer cars last season, but yeah.
Oh, that was the funniest thing ever, though.
Alright. On that note...
Oh, what a scrub.
So, the best part about that is not also that David hit the safety car. It's that the safety car blocked him.
Yeah, it just turned up in front of him.
The safety car went for the block.
It didn't want him to unlap himself.
That was like the best moment. It was like, you see David like trying to get his lap back. I thought David was trying to get his lap back there. Safety car moves over to block him.
No, David.
No, you ain't.
David had just passed Ben because Ben pitted, so David was now the in between the safety car and the leader, so he was gonna get the wave by, and the safety car said, "Nah, fam."
The hell you ain't.
Nah.
We're 1 to green. You ain't doing shit.
All right.
You're
well,
eating my ass.
Quite literally.
And he perfectly cleaned him off the racetrack. When David hit, he was perfectly off the racetrack, man. Safety car cleans up for itself.
On that note, I think that's gonna do it. We'll see if we get a moment that ties or tops that next week. But I guess there's only one way for you to find out, and that'll be for you to check it out next week, 7 p.m. Eastern time.